In this tutorial, I'll show you step by step how to create an Instagram puzzle in Canva, how to download it, and how to split it. All the steps that I'm going to show you today are free, so you can follow this tutorial if you have a free or pro Canva account. And it is also a beginner-proof tutorial as I'll show you all the steps you need to follow. Make sure you watch until the end so you don't miss any of the tips that I'm going to give you during the video. First, we need to calculate the size of the complete puzzle so we can then create a custom size Canva document. We want to create an Instagram post that has a 3x3 grid. That means that we need to take the size of one single square post, which is 1080 by 1080, and then we are going to multiply it by 3. So as you can see here, the ideal size for square post is 1080 by 1080. We're going to take this number here and we're going to multiply it by 3. Now we're going to take this number to create our custom size document in Canva. Go to canva.com and click here on this icon that says custom size. Another way to create a custom size document is by clicking on this button that says create a design. When you click on this button, you will see the option to create your custom size document here. So click either on this button or this one. You will then enter this number in here, so 3240, and then one more time in here, 3240. Make sure that you have selected pixels and then create new design. We are in the editor and as you can see we have a square format document, and remember that this is the document where we are going to build the puzzle. So we need to clearly see where each post ends and which the next one starts. For this we are going to create guides so it is easier for us to design this puzzle. To add these guides, go to File on top of the screen, View Settings, and then Add Guides. This is a fairly new feature, so if you didn't know that this existed, this is going to save you a lot of time. Click here, and then from here we are going to select the Custom option. From here we're going to add 3 columns, 3 rows, and then the gap is going to be 0. I actually prefer to use the custom option because as you can see my guides are here and I don't have any gaps in between my guides. If you were to select the 3x3 grid, you will see that there is a gap in between these guides. I prefer to be more precise, so that's why I use the custom feature, so I can only have one guide and I can see exactly where I'm going to split this document. Okay, we're ready. 3 columns, 3 rows, gap 0, 0, margin 0, 0, add guides. We already have our guides and we are ready to design. I would suggest that you start with a template, which is what I'm going to do because this is going to save us a lot of time. We don't have to select the elements that we want to use, and also we already have a predefined aesthetic in there. Remember that templates are here to be used and they have been professionally designed. So you're going to the panel on the left and open the Design tab. This is going to give you access to templates, so you can browse through all of these templates and see if you like something in particular. In my case, I'm going to use a keyword to be able to find a collection of templates. My keyword is the following: organic flower skincare. Remember that this is only one word, so do not add any spaces in case that you want to work with this exact same collection of templates. Now remember that we are creating an Instagram puzzle. That means that we are designing 9 different posts into just one image. Every single post is going to be defined by these guides, so if you add any of these templates to your page, make sure that it fits just one square. Now, I'm gonna add this one because I want to have this quote in the middle of my puzzle. So I'm going to click one time and this is going to fill my entire design. What I'm going to do is to select all the elements and then I'm going to zoom out so I can work with these elements. Before I didn't have access to these anchors, and now by zooming out I'm able to grab these anchors to reduce the size of these elements. I'm gonna grab them, make them smaller, make them fit this square square that we see here. These flowers that are in the background, they can be in the other squares because these are going to help us create this puzzle effect. I just want to make sure that this quote is inside this square, and the other elements we can take care of them later on when we start building the other designs around. Now, to start building the other post that we have around, I have a little trick for you. Instead of adding another set of elements on top of this one, because this is going to get really messy, let me show you. Let me go back to the collection of templates. Let's say that I want to add this other design and I want to position it right here in this corner. I'm gonna add it, and then you see that my previous design is gone. Let me go back. This is the one that we already reduced the size. This is the quote, and let me go back. If I want to add another design to be able to create another post, let's add a new page and then insert the new design. Let me click on this one. We have all of the elements in here, and I'm going to reduce the size of these elements so it fits one of these squares, and I'm gonna drag them to page number 1 and position them in one of the squares. To continue building your puzzle, you will need to do exactly the same steps. You will go to page number 2, and on the left, if you want to continue working with the same collection of templates, instead of scrolling down in here because these are other templates, you need to go back to access again this collection of templates. I'm gonna add another design in here, taking all the elements, reducing the size and making sure that it fits one of the squares. And from here you can either drag your elements to page number 1, or another way is to copy the elements and then paste them on page number 1, or you can also cut them by pressing Command X and going to page number 1 and Ctrl V. You will then reposition your elements where you want them to go. I'm gonna follow exactly the same steps, going to page number 2, going back to my collection, selecting another template, reducing the size so it fits one of these little squares, Ctrl X, Ctrl V, and then reposition. I'm gonna follow exactly the same steps to fill these empty spaces, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, I have filled almost all of these squares, and I have an empty one because I want to show you something special about this collection, and also something that I know some of you will have questions about. Let's say that I want to post an Instagram carousel within this puzzle. There is an Instagram puzzle in this collection of templates, and I also want to mention that all of these templates are free to use. As you can see, we don't see any crown in here, and there is one carousel, which is this one. I'm going to page number 2, and when I select this template right here, instead of having the design transferred into page number 2, I will be able to see all the pages containing this carousel. So I can do two things here. I can apply all pages and then have the carousel design in here as well, or I can simply work on page number 2 and then later on you can work on this carousel on a different document. I have the page number 1. This is the Instagram carousel cover, and I'm going to position this design on this empty square. We have filled all the empty spaces in here, and now we need to adjust the design so it looks much better. But before, I want to change the name of this document because I like to keep everything organized. So as you can see, we have an untitled design, 3240 pixels by 3240 pixels. You can click here and rename your document. So Instagram puzzle. Now we need to keep working on our design to make it look even more professional. As you can see here, I have transferred all the elements from all of these templates, and some of them are overlapping each other, which is a good thing, but I think we can make it look better. In this case, we have a blob in here that I think it can go. So I'm going to select the element and then either delete the trash can, or you can delete another element that you don't want to see in the design and hit the delete button on your keyboard. From here, you can decide to leave the flowers or not. You can try another layout, like for example, I'm gonna select this flower here, delete it, and why not try this other blob in here and see how it looks. I'm going to select position and then to back, and as you can see, this blob kind of works in here because these elements here have some shapes that are not visible if we don't have anything in the background. So having a blob on this design works, looks really nice. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this blob on this corner, and then I'm going to continue working with these blobs, moving them around and see what works best. Remember that if you are working with blobs or other kind of shapes on your design, always go to position and make sure that they are set to back. And also another tip that is going to make your puzzle really look like a puzzle is to make sure that these big pieces that are in the back are touching at least 2 different posts or different squares on your puzzle. So for example, this flower right here is touching 1, 2, 3, and 4 different posts. So when you are posting these designs on your Instagram feed, they will look like if they were just one image. I'm gonna continue working on this design just to make it look more cohesive. I want all the elements in the back to have a similar look at these blobs, so I could either take one of these blobs, select the copy style tool, and then click on one of the elements that I want to transfer this style to. So I'm gonna click on this flower and see what happens. Okay, this is looking good, but I still want the flower to have this circle visible, so I'm going to color and change the part in the middle. And now that I like the style of this flower, I'm going to select again the copy style tool and select the other flowers on my design. I'm gonna do the same for the other blobs here. I think I am almost done with this design. Now, some extra information. If you are new to Canva, you can customize everything that you see on the screen. So if you want to change any text box, you can double click on any of the text boxes to add more text or to customize your text. You can also change the color on any element that you see here in any text box. So if you were to select any element in here, you can change the color from here. To change any of the elements or the images that you see on your design, you can go to elements, and from here you can access the graphics library or the photo library. To change any photo that you see on your design, you can simply drag a new image on top of the one that you want to change. So for example, I'm dragging this photo on top of this one, and Canva automatically changes, and it will also maintain the shape that we had on our template. Or if you want to add photos to a design that doesn't have any photos, you can go below to the section that says frames. If you want to see more frames than the ones that you see here, click see all, and you can add any of these frames to your design. So let's say that I want to add this frame here. I'm going to position this frame next to my quote, and then going back to the elements library, going to photos, and then use one of these images and drop it inside the frame. Now let me show you a little trick that you can use to be able to visualize or to preview a single post as a standalone piece, because remember that we are working on a puzzle, but we also need to make sure that every single square on this puzzle looks good alone. For this, you are going to press the R key on your keyboard, which is going to bring a square shape to your design. You're going to bring this shape here, and you're making it really big so it covers these 3 squares on the left, and then we're going to change the color to black, position to front. Now we are going to duplicate this square, so copy and paste and position it here on your right. We're going to duplicate another time this element, so you can now click duplicate. We have our duplicating here, and this time I'm going to cover just the square on top, and now duplicating this square and position it here below. Now we want to select all of these shapes and group them, so I'm selecting this square here, pressing shift, selecting this one below, now this one on the left and this one on the right, and we are going to select the group button that we see above. As you can see, we are isolating the design in the middle, and like this we can really see if the design looks balanced. I think it is a little bit too high, so I can move these black squares, select the elements on this page and move it below just a tiny bit. Now I'm repositioning my black squares on top, and I think it looks a little bit more balanced now. I'm going to do the same trick for the other elements, so I'm positioning these black squares now on this one, and I'm going closer to the design to see if we need to align better some elements or to play around with the blobs in the back, but I think it looks good. Now going back to the next one, this one looks good to me. I think I could maybe make these elements a little bit bigger. Let me move this black shape a little bit more and make these elements just a tiny bit bigger. And now let me preview it again. I think it looks nice. This one looks good as well. Going above, I can see that one of these blobs is above my text box, I believe. So I'm going to take this flower position to back. Yeah, that's right. And then I could either move this flower on top of this design, I believe, so the background on this design is not too saturated. It can work like this. This one we already checked it out. This one looks good to me. This one as well. And this one can be a tiny bit bigger. And here's another trick that you can use to adjust these elements. As you can see, I want to select only these elements right here, but sometimes some elements in the back will get in the way. And if I want to resize them, the elements in the back will also be resized. If you want to deselect these elements, you're gonna press Shift and click on the elements that you want to remove from your selection, and then adjust only the elements that you want to adjust. Let me preview this one again. Yeah, this one looks much better now, and this one looks also good to me. Now that I have checked all my Instagram posts, I can delete this group of black shapes. I think my design is ready to be downloaded, but I want to show you an extra tip that is going to be super useful. If you like the elements that you are using on your design, but you want to use something that looks similar to them, but not exactly the same, you can select one of these elements. So I'm gonna select one of these flowers, then go to the toolbar and select the info icon and click see more like this. This is going to bring a collection of elements that look similar to this one. So you could either select this flower here or this one, and then remember that you can copy and paste the style from your flower to the new flower, and then play around with the new flower in the back of your design. You can do the same process for other shapes, like for example this blob. Go to info, see more like this, and you will see some other blob shapes that you could use on your design. On the other hand, if you want to find another completely different element, you can go back and use the search bar. Now we're going to download this design right here. Remember that these purple lines, we are not going to see them once we download the design because these are only guides, but you can remove them before downloading so you can see exactly how your puzzle is going to look like on your Instagram feed. For this, you are going again to File, View Settings, and then select Show Rulers and Guides. This is going to deactivate them, and now you can see your final puzzle. Now to download your design, go to Share, Download, and then Download. Now let me show you another extra tip in case that you have a Canva Pro account. You're going to download it this way. Click Share, Download, and then from here, having selected PNG, you are going to increase the size of your design. You can move the slider all the way to the right. This is going to increase the image size, which is going to help with the blurry images. I know that sometimes when you post images on Instagram, they may look a little bit blurry, so this is going to help you with it. Now, once you have increased the image size all the way to the right, click download. Also, if you want to try this Pro feature and you have a Canva free account, we have a special link in the description so you can use Canva Pro for free during 45 days. That is 15 days more than what you would get in the Canva website. Now, let me show you something. This is the design that I downloaded for free, and this is the design that I have downloaded increasing the size with Canva Pro. And as you can see, both of them look exactly the same. So as you can see, you can do amazing stuff with Canva free, but let me show you what happens once I increase the size of these documents. Now let me increase it to the same size. You can see that this one starts to look slightly more pixelated than this one. This one still looks very sharp, and if I keep increasing the size, this one still looks very crisp and sharp. So this last tip of using the Pro downloading feature is just for those who care about the little details. We have our Instagram puzzle ready, but we need to split it into individual images so we can then post it on Instagram. We're gonna use this website right here because it has a tool that really helps us save a lot of time. I found it just a couple of days ago, so I'm really happy to share it with you. We're gonna upload our Instagram puzzle image in here, so click select image. You're gonna select your Instagram puzzle, click open. As you can see, our Instagram puzzle appears in here, and we have the grids where this is going to cut it. This looks perfect. Remember that we are cutting this image into a grid. This one has 3 columns, so everything is perfect. I didn't have to tweak anything. Now we just need to split image. This just took a couple of seconds, and just wanted to remind you that this is a free tool. Now, we need to follow a very important step, so I want you to really pay attention. We need to download these images, and at the same time as we are downloading them, we are going to rename them. So we are going to make sure that we name the image on the right order that we need to post them on Instagram. This is the order you need to follow for the puzzle to look perfect on your Instagram feed. So we're going to start downloading these pieces one by one. We're going to start by this one, click on this arrow, and we're going to name this image 1. Save. We're going to continue with number 2, 2, save. Number 3, rename it to 3, save. Now number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now that you have every single piece of the puzzle ready to be published, you can either take them all and publish them all at the same time so you can see the puzzle ready on your feed. Or you can post them one by one, like maybe one post every day or maybe one post every week. It depends on you how frequently you want to publish, but either way, both of these options are fine. The next step is to bring all of these documents, all of the pieces of your puzzle to your phone. I'm going to airdrop them because I'm using a Mac and also an iPhone, so that makes it easy. I'm selecting them all, right click, share, airdrop, and I am selecting my iPhone. You can also send these images by email to your phone, or you could also connect your phone to your computer to transfer the images. Now that I have all the images on my phone, I'm gonna start posting them. You're gonna go to your profile and select the plus icon at the bottom of the screen. From here, you need to be very careful with the order in which you start posting your images to your feed to make sure that your puzzle looks perfect. So you're going to make sure that you are posting image number 1. So if you want, you can go back to your computer to double check which one is image number 1. So it is this one right here. Tap next. next. From here you can add a caption, tag people, add location, you know, like add all the settings that you want, and then hit share. First image of the puzzle is already published and I'm going for image number 1. I'm double checking on my computer which one it is, going to my phone, tapping on the plus icon below, finding the right image, next. Next, add a caption if you want, tag people, add location, and then share. I'm just waiting for the second image to be published and I'll be following the same steps. So image number 3, double checking, going to my profile on my phone, tapping on the plus icon, finding the right image, then hit next, next, and share. I have reached this image, which I know it is a carousel I want to post on my Instagram feed. So I'm going back to Canva because I need to finalize this carousel before posting. I'm going to social media, Instagram post square, create blank, and remember to paste here the special keyword in case that you are working with this same collection. I'm going to find my carousel, clicking on this template and then apply all 5 pages. I'm going to delete the cover because we already have the one that is going to fit perfectly our puzzle, and then from here you can customize the text, add images or even elements. What I do suggest is that you don't change the elements in the back because, as you can see, this carousel is a seamless carousel, meaning that every page has something in between them to make them look as if they were just one image, which is a pretty cool effect and it is also very trendy. Once you have finished customizing your carousel, you're going to download it. So go to share, download, and then download. I'm going to follow exactly the same process as before. I'm going to send these images to my phone and then I'll be able to post this carousel. I have all the pieces of my carousel now on my phone and I'm gonna continue using my computer to see what's the next image. It is this one, so I'm going back to my profile, tapping on the plus icon below. Then I'm making sure to select this image as the cover, so it is this one right here. And then the next step to be able to post a carousel is to select this icon right here. This is going to allow you to add more pages to your post. Now on my computer, I'm going to double check which is the second page on my carousel, and then I'm going to select it on my phone. Then the second image is this one, next one is this one, and last one this one. Remember to also pay attention to the order in which you insert the images on your carousel, as this one is going to have this seamless effect and we want it to look perfect. Okay, so this one is the cover. This may not match the carousel as we changed the order of the elements, but then you will see that page number 2 connects with the following and so on. Once your carousel looks perfect, hit next and share. Once your carousel is published, you are going to continue publishing the rest of your puzzles. So I'm going for piece number 8. This is the one with the flowers. Next, next, share. And the last image is this one. So tapping on the plus icon, finding the right image, and then publishing it. And our Instagram puzzle feed is ready. I believe it looks very, very professional and very cute. From here, you can recognize that we have a carousel post because we have this little icon on the corner of this post. So when you click on this post, you can see the following pages, and this one in particular has this seamless effect, which is very trendy right now. The last tip that I want to share here today is that you can transform these Instagram puzzle pieces into real covers. And this is pretty easy. I'm going to show you quickly how to do it. You're going to canva.com, open the social media tab, and from here you are going to select this option that says Instagram Reel, create blank. You're going to upload the piece of the puzzle that you want to convert into an Instagram Reel cover. You're going to upload files, select the piece of the puzzle, click open, and bring this image to your design. You're going to stretch this image until the laterals touch the edge of the page. The next step is to select the background of your design, go to color, select the plus icon, then the color picker, and select the color from the background of your design. You can leave this design as it is and download it, or if you want to add more details to this real cover, you can go to Elements and search for blob, go to graphics and select any of the blobs in here to match the ones on your design. So I'm gonna try to match this one here, position back, go to color, select the color picker and grab the color from the blob in your design. You could even go further and try to find the same flowers on your design and then add them to the background so they fit or they fill these sections that are empty. I think I'm gonna go with just the plain background. Go to share, download, make sure that you are downloading it as a PNG and then download. And that's it. You can use this image as an Instagram reel cover. Just remember to use it in the right order. If you like this video, remember to give us a thumbs up, and also I would suggest you click the join button so you can learn more about our engaging learning experience, exclusive access, and personalized support. And to get a 45-day free trial of Canva Pro, you can click here. You will also find the links that I mentioned in the description. Well, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and hope to see you in the next one. Bye!